I called my wife a keyboard warrior because she destroyed my reputation. My wife, 34, and I, 32, have been happily married for 8 years. We have 2 kids, 6 and 4. Until recently, we've been able to effectively divide our household chores and parenting duties equally. About 6 months ago, my wife's TikTok and Instagram algorithms started showing her content that's primarily been involving criticism of men, particularly in terms of their contributions to marriages, parenting, and chores. I'm all for constructive discussions about gender roles and stuff like that, but the content I've seen from her account takes it to an extreme, stereotyping all men as lazy and neglectful. In the past few weeks, my wife began posting her own content about our personal life, portraying me as a negligent and uncaring husband and father who doesn't pull his weight around the house. I was really hurt when I saw these posts on our account, particularly because she has close friends and family members on both sides who follow her account and are reaching out to me asking me if everything is okay in our marriage now that she's posting her own content, and not just reposting other videos she finds. Not only was her content way inaccurate, but I feel uncomfortable opening up these elements of my personal life to all of our friends and family, let alone strangers who have found themselves engaging as well. I attempted to discuss this with her. She shrugged it off, and accused me of being insensitive to the struggles with women, and not understanding her need for an outlet to vent. I completely lost my patience in front of the kids. I told her she was being a keyboard warrior more interested in getting clout from toxic women online than the reality of our life. I also told her she was being an ungrateful jerk and spreading lies about me and our marriage. As soon as I called her a jerk and saw her reaction to what I was saying, as well as hearing my daughter starting to cry, I regretted it. She looked more sad than angry with what I was saying, and she just sort of shut down and hasn't spoken to me since, outside of very minimal conversations about breakfast or plans for the kids. I feel like I have a right to be upset about what she's saying on social media, but I think I took it way too far. I really don't know how to approach the rest of the discussion we obviously need to have. I'm pretty sure my marriage is over. I don't know. I sat her down to talk to her about it again, this time away from the kids, and a lot more confident that I was going to keep my cool. I prefaced the conversation by saying I didn't want this to be an argument, I just wanted to get to the bottom of this behavior, and wanted to explain how it was affecting me, and how other people view me. Pretty much the moment I began talking, she shut me down, and I don't know if what she did is gaslighting, or if she's having some sort of mental break, or maybe a wizard came down and magically hypnotized me for the past several months, and I'm just now coming out of it. Basically, she said that everything she is saying on social media is true, and that I have no right to police what she does or says online. I decided my best course of action would be to try to challenge her on the everything I'm saying is true part by breaking down the chores for her, and showing the division of labor. In fact, I used the same list I typed up in a comment from my previous post, which is here: me, take the kids to school, pick them up from school, cook dinner, clean up plus dishes after, lawn duties, and adult laundry; her, sweep plus mop the house 2 times a week, kids laundry plus towels and linens, dusting the common areas, breakfast for kids, packing daily lunches/snacks for kids, and maintains finances. This is what she does for a living. Together, folding and putting away laundry, weekly house cleaning day where we go from room to room with the kids to set good housekeeping examples for them. We alternate bath plus bedtime routines for the kids, and bathroom cleaning. She takes the half bath, I take the master, and we both take the kids together. This is how she responded to all of it. Take the kids to and from school. Wow, you sit in a car for an hour. Great job, Dad. Cook dinner. Cooking is your favorite thing to do, so it's not really work. Dishes afterwards. Oh, you clean up after yourself. Do you want a cookie? Lawn duties. So you spend an hour away from the kids every weekend? Next, laundry. Paraphrasing, this is also the bare minimum. It was at this point that I noticed how everything I'm doing is the bare minimum and expected of me, while she expects to be treated like a hero and a martyr for doing her chores. I found this to be highly transactional and adversarial for really no reason. I asked her why she was only bringing this up now instead of communicating with me, and she didn't have a real answer. Something to the effect of, "It's not my job to teach you things you should already know," which I'm paraphrasing, but the discussion got really heated at this point. The discussion had spiraled completely out of control, and she started to pound the table, and at one point threw her mug into the sink so hard that it broke. Things had gotten completely unproductive, so I went to wake the kids up from their nap, and take them to a friend's house for the day for things to calm down. I went into their room and started getting them ready, and when I walked out into the hallway, out of view of the kids, she came from around the corner and sucker punched me, and screaming that I guess because I was taking the kids out for the day, that I'm weaponizing them and manipulating the situation to make her seem crazy. I don't even remember the small details of what happened next. The kids were scared. I eventually got them into the car, and left. I went to my friend's house, who already knew everything that was going on. I just stayed there for a bit while the kids played with his dog in the backyard. A few hours later, the police showed up at the house. Thankfully, she didn't make any insane accusations like I feared when they pulled into the driveway. Essentially, she just told them that I took her kids without her permission and told them where I was. They told her that they can't do anything about me taking the kids, because I'm their custodial father. They came to sort of tell me what was going on, and to let me know what they talked about. I did not tell them about her punching me. But I'm just done now. Barring a serious neurological disease causing the issue, there's no conversation that I can have with her that will allow me to get past all of this. My friend agrees with me. My marriage is over. I spoke with the attorney that I set the meeting for this morning. We started discussing the paperwork, the fees, and basically everything I need to initiate a divorce. He did recommend I file a report with the police, just like everyone else did. About 2 hours ago, my mother-in-law called me. She had been speaking with her daughter for a couple of weeks, and was already worried that her daughter had been having an episode similar to the one she was having when she was younger. For those of you who had missed it in the comments, she is openly bipolar, but it's well controlled, and she hasn't really had an episode in many years, for lack of a better way to describe what she believed to be mild anger issues. Anyway, after our last fight, my wife called her sobbing, saying she doesn't know what's wrong, and that we just had a fight that spiraled out of control, and now I'm leaving her and taking the kids. My mother-in-law said she was going to fly into town, and told her to go to the hospital in the meantime if she's afraid of hurting herself or anyone else. So she called the police to tell them what was going on, not to report me for kidnapping the kids, as I previously thought, also. Based on what the police officer told me, which was just false I guess, and then she went and checked herself into the hospital for short-term psychiatric care. She was evaluated, and determined not to be a danger to herself at that time, and was sent home with an anti-anxiety medication and a referral. Her mom and I talked for a long time, and she started talking to me about her episodes and how they would present themselves, and to be honest, it sounded a lot like what's been going on. Apparently my wife was noticing something small or insignificant, her mom's words, and then the anger would spike, and there would be a chain of different thoughts and a weird progression that ultimately ends up being angry at something that didn't really happen, but could happen. I'm not really sure I fully understand, but I listened, and appreciated her telling me. Not that I really know what to do about any of this. I can say right off the bat that I'm not as angry about her punching me as you all are. Especially if she is having an untreated manic episode, realizes it, and tries to work on it. I'm going to take a few days to process this with my kids. My wife knows how to contact me if she needs to, but it seems like she's been giving me a lot of space, especially since she spoke with her mother.